Welcome to Business BookTube, the channel where the world's best-selling business books are distilled into powerful, easy-to-digest summaries just for you. I created this space for those of us who love books, but don't always have time to sit down and read. Whether you're stuck in traffic, winding down before bed, or getting things done around the house, you can now make every minute count by listening to the most impactful ideas from top books. Each summary is carefully crafted. I read the books, extract the most valuable insights, and deliver them to you in a clear, practical, and engaging audiobook-style format. If you're passionate about learning and want to stay ahead with the key lessons from the world's most popular books, make sure to subscribe and never miss a summary. A New York Times best-selling author, Cardone penned the 10X Rule and is widely regarded as a premier expert in sales training and social media marketing today. Notably, he has successfully built 3 multi-million-dollar businesses from the ground up in just the last 5 years. Cardone's unwavering pursuit of success and his 10X methodology have clearly positioned him at the peak of his industry. With a direct, no-excuses approach, Cardone offers a clear blueprint for conquering both personal and professional domains. He confidently promises that anyone, regardless of their current standing, can generate phenomenal results. His governing philosophy is both straightforward and deeply insightful. Achieving 10 times the results demands a commitment to 10 times the effort. In the 10X Rule, Cardone thoroughly details why setting extraordinarily high targets and executing massive action are non-negotiable for success. He argues that most individuals operate at an average level, not due to a shortage of talent or opportunity, but because they are unwilling to commit the required effort. Cardone fiercely challenges this common mindset, urging readers to escape the traps of mediocrity and relentlessly pursue true greatness. The book also dedicates significant attention to forging an unbreakable mindset, conquering fear, and fostering a fierce, relentless attitude toward goal attainment. Cardone supplies practical methods and techniques to overcome obstacles and maintain unstoppable momentum, even when faced with substantial adversity. Crucially, the 10X Rule extends far beyond mere professional achievement. Cardone applies these same high-level principles to personal spheres, including physical health, relationships, and self-improvement. He maintains that adhering to the 10X Rule inevitably results in a significantly higher quality of life, stronger personal connections, and deeper personal satisfaction. A major strength of the 10X Rule lies in Cardone's powerful capacity to ignite and inspire action. His writing is compelling, punctuated by real-world examples and case studies that make the book highly practical, relatable, and deeply informative. To illustrate the sheer magnitude of the 10X Rule, consider the path of Elon Musk, the billionaire CEO behind SpaceX and Tesla. Musk's audacious goals and tireless work ethic, which often see him working up to 100 hours per week, perfectly embody the principles laid out in Cardone's work. His spectacular success serves as living proof. With the correct mindset and massive action, achieving 10X results isn't just possible, it's the only logical outcome. Cultivating the mental framework necessary for extraordinary success is the bedrock of Grant Cardone's philosophy. This means challenging your perceived limits, disrupting the status quo, and pursuing your objectives with absolute tenacity. So, what precisely constitutes a 10X mindset? It means more than just doubling your efforts. It requires a literal tenfold increase. It involves establishing elevated targets, pushing the boundaries of what is possible, and taking massive action to ensure their achievement. The 10x mindset starts with the profound belief that exceptional success is not only attainable, but already within your grasp. It is a fundamental rejection of mediocrity in favor of an unrelenting drive for greatness. Cardone posits that average performance is widespread because people lack the willingness to do what true success demands. They aim too low, only to be puzzled when their aspirations remain unfulfilled. How then does one develop this success-oriented mindset? It begins with the courage to think big. This entails setting goals so vast they appear almost impossible to reach. It means daring to dream monumentally and then backing those dreams with strategic, overwhelming action. This level of action isn't simply about working harder. It's about working smarter, maximizing efficiency, optimizing every resource, and pursuing your goals without wavering. Take the example of Elon Musk again. He didn't just envision building electric cars. He aspired to make them the global standard. He didn't just start a space company. He set the ambitious goal of colonizing Mars. These are not modest goals, and achieving them demands far more than an average effort. A 10x mindset also involves fostering an insatiable hunger for achievement. This inner drive powers your motivation, sustaining you even when faced with extreme difficulty. It means waking up every morning with a burning desire to hit your targets and going to bed knowing you exhausted every effort to make them real. However, it's not solely about grand dreams and intense labor. This mindset requires a continuous commitment to learning and development. It necessitates the constant acquisition of new knowledge, the refinement of skills, and staying ahead of industry trends. It means welcoming constructive feedback, learning from every misstep, and perpetually striving for improvement. Furthermore, the 10 times mindset demands resilience. The journey toward exceptional success is often fraught with hurdles and setbacks. Instead of allowing these obstacles to derail progress, the 10 times thinker views them as invaluable opportunities for learning and growth. It's about recovering instantly from failures, extracting lessons, and using them as fuel for the next phase of action. Developing this mindset involves far more than just setting high goals. It requires audacious thought, intense ambition, dedication to learning, and the fortitude to overcome adversity. It is the definitive move to shed the limitations of mediocrity and achieve the extraordinary. The 10x mindset isn't just about dreaming huge. It also involves systematically defeating fear and self-limiting beliefs. These psychological hurdles act as invisible restraints, keeping us confined to our comfort zones and preventing us from accessing our highest potential. How frequently do we convince ourselves that we are inadequate, unintelligent, or simply not destined for success? Fear is a natural human response, but it becomes paralyzing when it stops us from taking necessary risks. The fear of failure, the anxiety of rejection, or the apprehension of the unknown can all lead to crippling inaction. Cardone strongly asserts that the method for conquering fear is not avoidance, but direct confrontation. He encourages readers to embrace their fears, acknowledge them, and channel that energy directly into action. The strategy is to reframe fear, seeing it not as a barrier, but as an essential component of the path forward. Consider Sir Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group, who frequently discussed his acute fear of public speaking. Instead of letting this fear control him, he faced it head-on, even taking courses to improve his skills. Today, Branson is one of the world's most sought-after speakers, demonstrating that fear is a challenge to be overcome through sheer determination and bravery. Fear, however, is not the sole barrier to success. Self-limiting beliefs, the persistent, unending desire for more become more conflict. Negative thoughts we harbor about ourselves can be equally destructive. These harmful beliefs often become self-fulfilling prophecies. Cardone encourages readers to aggressively challenge these internal limitations. He maintains that we are frequently our own harshest critics, and these negative convictions are usually rooted in insecurity rather than objective reality. He champions replacing these destructive thoughts with positive, empowering ones. It is fundamentally about trusting in your capabilities, recognizing your potential, and acknowledging your self-worth. The process of overcoming these beliefs is complex, demanding self-awareness, deep introspection, and a commitment to questioning long-held convictions. Cardone equally emphasizes the vital role of taking action. Defeating fear and self-limiting beliefs requires not just a mental shift, but a fundamental change in behavior. It involves constantly pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, embracing risk, and seeking new challenges. Ultimately, it's about proving to yourself, through concrete results, that you are capable of achieving far more than you currently realize. The 10x mindset absolutely requires a relentless attitude toward achieving every goal. It's about refusing to concede, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. It represents persistence, resilience, and an unwavering, unconditional commitment to your dreams. Cardone stresses that success is not for the passive or the easily satisfied. It is reserved for the tenacious, the determined, and the persistent. It belongs to those who are willing to exert all necessary effort to reach their objectives, regardless of the obstacles in their path. Many people claim they want success, but they quickly fold when confronted with adversity, revealing a lack of the relentless drive essential for extraordinary achievement. They aren't willing to endure the hard work, make the required sacrifices, or persist through setbacks. So how does one cultivate this unstoppable drive? Cardone suggests it begins with a powerful, burning desire for success. The ambition must be so intense that you are ready to do whatever it takes to realize it. This desire fuels your determination and provides motivation when times are toughest. Consider Steve Jobs, the visionary co-founder of Apple, who was famous for his relentless pursuit of perfection. He was known to work grueling hours, demand excellence from his teams, and never accept anything less than superior quality. His fierce attitude was instrumental to Apple's groundbreaking success. However, a relentless attitude is not simply about intense labor. It's also about working intelligently. It involves defining clear, precise goals and then developing a strategic plan to ensure their attainment. It means prioritizing your most critical tasks and eliminating all distractions. It is about continually seeking innovative ways to improve and optimize your performance. Cardone also highlights the paramount importance of persistence. Achieving exceptional success is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, resilience, and the ability to continue moving forward, even when progress is slow or setbacks occur. It means absolutely refusing to quit, regardless of the difficulty. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, famously endured thousands of unsuccessful attempts before his ultimate triumph. Instead of abandoning his work, he persisted, viewing each failure not as a defeat, but as a crucial lesson. His relentless persistence eventually resulted in one of human history's most significant inventions. Moreover, cultivating this relentless drive means actively embracing discomfort. It demands stepping outside your zone of safety, tackling new challenges, and constantly stretching your limits. It is the refusal to accept mediocrity and the commitment to always aim for the highest achievement. Are you prepared to embrace the 10x mindset? Are you ready to think bigger, face your fears, and pursue your goals with unshakable resolve? The path will certainly be demanding, but as Cardone reminds us, the rewards of the 10x mindset are truly exceptional. It's not just about reaching success. It's about engineering a life that is genuinely extraordinary. And that is a fight worth having. In Grant Cardone's seminal work, The 10X Rule, he masterfully details the power of taking massive action and how this commitment guarantees extraordinary outcomes. But what exactly defines massive action? Let's explore why this level of activity is the absolute key to exceptional results. It involves pushing boundaries, rejecting conventional norms, and refusing to settle for anything less than dominance. It is an all-in approach where you leave absolutely nothing to chance in the pursuit of your objectives. Why is this intensity so vital for achieving success? The answer lies in the dynamic forces of momentum and differentiation. First, massive action instantly generates powerful momentum. Once you initiate action, things begin to move. The more action you take, the more momentum accumulates. With momentum on your side, overcoming resistance, pushing through challenges, and rapidly moving toward your targets becomes significantly easier. Think of a snowball rolling down a mountain. It gathers snow, grows exponentially larger, and accelerates its pace. This is the tangible power of momentum. Just like the snowball, increased action generates massive momentum, rapidly pulling you toward your goals. Second, massive action profoundly differentiates you from the competition. Most people operate at only average levels of activity. They perform the minimum expected tasks but rarely go beyond that threshold. They work hard but stop short of pushing their absolute limits. By committing to massive action, you immediately distinguish yourself from the crowd. You project an unparalleled level of commitment, determination, and persistence that most competitors simply cannot match. Consider Elon Musk. He didn't just aspire to launch a successful company. He aimed to entirely revolutionize industries. His effort wasn't just hard work. It was relentless, often involving 100-hour work weeks. His level of action was not merely massive, it was revolutionary. His resulting success, a multi-billion-dollar empire, and a legacy as one of the most transformative entrepreneurs of our era, speaks for itself. Of course, massive action doesn't eliminate obstacles. You will inevitably face resistance and experience failures. But Cardone emphasizes that this is where massive action's true value emerges. When you are committed to this level of action, setbacks are viewed as temporary learning opportunities, not insurmountable roadblocks. You analyze the failure, adjust your strategy, and immediately return to taking massive action. Cardone argues that the path to success is rarely straight. It is a winding, unpredictable road filled with setbacks, difficulties, and failures. The crucial traits needed to navigate this journey are persistence and resilience. Why are these qualities so indispensable? And how do they contribute to guaranteed success? Persistence, as Cardone describes it, is the steadfast capacity to continue striving for goals despite all challenges, disappointments, or discouragements. It is the relentless pursuit of your aspirations, the refusal to surrender or retreat, no matter how daunting the obstacles appear. It's about forcing progress, even when forward movement seems minimal. Resilience, in contrast, is the ability to bounce back immediately from failures, disappointments, or adversity. It involves picking yourself up after a fall, internalizing the lessons from your mistakes, and moving forward with a renewed, fierce determination. It is the practice of viewing failures not as dead ends, but as necessary stepping stones toward triumph. These traits are vital because the pursuit of success is inherently uneven. Without both persistence and resilience, it is easy to become discouraged, lose motivation, and ultimately abandon your goals. The famous story of Thomas Edison, who endured 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before perfecting the electric light bulb, highlights this point. Had he lacked persistence, he would have given up long before his breakthrough. Had he lacked resilience, he would have been crushed by repeated failures. Instead, his combination of grit and determination transformed his vision into reality. Similarly, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced numerous rejections from publishers. She persisted, however, and her unwavering resilience was ultimately rewarded when her series became one of the biggest literary phenomena in history. So, how does one cultivate these powerful traits? Cardone suggests it begins with a deeply ingrained desire for achievement. The longing for success must be so profound that you are willing to endure any hardship that arises. You must be willing to keep pushing, even when the odds are stacked against you. Next, a clear, powerful vision of your goal is required. Knowing exactly what you want and why you want it provides purpose, a concrete reason to persist, and a reserve of motivation for tough times. Finally, you must actively embrace failure. Instead of perceiving failure as a negative outcome, treat it as a critical learning experience. Each failure refines your approach, teaches you what not to do, and brings you one step closer to discovering the winning formula. We've established the necessity of massive action, persistence, and resilience. But the final, critical step is figuring out how to engage in massive action consistently. This is where the practical application of the 10x rule shines. Firstly, consistent massive action must be fueled by a clear and powerful vision. You need absolute certainty about what you intend to accomplish and the underlying why. This vision serves as your North Star, keeping your focus sharp and your motivation high against the backdrop of any challenge or distraction. Secondly, consistent action requires unshakable commitment. You must be entirely devoted to your vision and prepared to do whatever is necessary to make it a reality. This demands that you constantly exceed your comfort zone, push your defined limits, and adamantly refuse to accept mediocrity. Serena Williams, one of the greatest tennis players ever, provides an excellent example. She didn't just aim to be a good player, she aimed for domination. She didn't just practice, she trained relentlessly, often pushing herself past the point of exhaustion. Her commitment to her vision was uncompromising, driving her to take massive action daily. Thirdly, massive action requires unwavering consistency. It is insufficient to act massively just once or twice. It must become a way of life. This means establishing daily, weekly, and monthly targets, and then executing continuous, forceful action to meet them. It involves creating habits and routines that inherently support your grand vision and solidify your commitment. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, didn't build a multi-billion-dollar corporation overnight. He achieved it through disciplined, consistent daily action. He established clear objectives, developed effective strategies, and then executed those strategies with relentless consistency. Lastly, massive action demands resilience. Setbacks and failures will occur. However, with true resilience, you can recover from these temporary defeats and keep driving forward. Walt Disney faced numerous failures throughout his career, but he never allowed these setbacks to stop him. He bounced back, took massive action, and ultimately created one of the most successful entertainment empires in the world. In summary, massive action is not an occasional activity. It is a permanent lifestyle. It necessitates a bold vision, absolute commitment, iron consistency, and instant resilience. Mastering these attributes guarantees the ability to achieve exceptional results. We now turn our focus to the practical, real-life applications of the 10x rule. Grant Cardone. The 10x rule offers a powerful, counterintuitive strategy for overcoming these hurdles. By setting goals 10 times larger and taking actions 10 times more significant, we can inevitably surmount any obstacle and transform adversity into a powerful opportunity. Consider an individual struggling with financial difficulties. The typical response is cautious. Cut minor expenses, look for a small pay increase, or slowly chip away at existing debt. However, applying the 10x rule mandates a radically different strategy. Instead of merely trying to get by, this person would set a goal not just to survive, but to achieve substantial financial success. This might involve aiming to multiply their income tenfold or eliminate their debt at 10 times the current rate. The central idea is to think bigger, act decisively, and refuse to let negative circumstances dictate their future. By setting such elevated goals, the possibility of falling short is very real. Yet, as Cardone explains, the rule is about maximizing your probability of success. Even if you miss the 10x target, the sheer volume of effort invested will still place you vastly ahead of where you would have been with lesser aims and minimal effort. Imagine a runner training for a marathon. If their only goal is to finish, their training will be minimal. But if they set a 10x goal to finish in the top 10%, their training regimen will be dramatically more intense and consistent. Even if they fail to reach the top 10%, their final performance will undoubtedly be superior to the athlete who merely aimed to complete the race. What then is the strategy when a challenge seems insurmountable? This is precisely where the action component, taking 10 times the action, becomes essential. Next, consider how the 10x rule can dramatically improve relationships. Many people seek simply good relationships, striving to minimize conflict, communicate adequately, and show moderate affection. The 10x rule compels us to aim for extraordinary relationships. This translates to investing 10 times the effort into deeply understanding your partner, improving communication, and showing profound love and appreciation. Instead of scheduling just 1 hour of quality time weekly, you could commit to 10 hours. Instead of expressing love and appreciation once per day, you could strive to do it 10 times. While these goals may appear extreme, they are guaranteed to produce a dramatic improvement in the richness and quality of your relationships. Finally, let's look at how the 10x rule accelerates personal growth. Many of us desire improvement, but we often set modest goals and take limited action. The 10x rule encourages us toward exponential growth. Instead of reading 1 book monthly, you aim for 10. Instead of acquiring 1 new skill annually, you aim for 10. By establishing lofty goals and supporting them with massive action, you can rapidly accelerate your personal development and achieve your ultimate potential. There is the example of an individual who wanted to master a new language. Rather than setting a goal to be conversationally fluent in a year, she applied the 10x rule and aimed to be fluently bilingual in that same time frame. She committed to studying 10 times more than she had originally planned. Though she didn't become completely fluent in 2 languages within the year, she achieved conversational fluency in 2 languages, far exceeding her initial modest objective. Accelerating professional growth. In the professional landscape, the 10x rule is a total game changer. Whether you are an employee seeking rapid career advancement, an entrepreneur focused on business expansion, or an individual pursuing financial freedom, this rule will propel you toward your goals. For career growth, the 10x rule might involve aiming for a position 10 times higher than your current one, or increasing your expertise and efficiency tenfold. This level of thinking and action makes you an undeniable asset, ensures recognition, and drastically accelerates your career trajectory. For business expansion, the 10x rule revolutionizes your vision and market strategy. Instead of targeting a 10% increase in your customer base, you aim for a 100% increase. Instead of planning to launch in 1 new territory, you aim for 10. By setting these audacious targets and executing them with massive action, you drive exponential, disruptive growth. In terms of financial success, the 10x rule motivates us to aim for wealth and financial domination, not mere financial stability. This process systematically removes emotion and self-justification, providing an irrefutable record of commitment that separates the merely busy from the exceptionally productive. This dedication to measured action is directly embodied in Cardone's concept of the 4 degrees of action. 1. Do nothing. People who are paralyzed and fail to act, often due to fear, doubt, or excessive procrastination, resulting in certain stagnation. 2. Retreat. Those who take action only to move backward, reducing effort after a setback, shrinking their goals when challenges arise, or withdrawing from difficult situations. 3. Average action. The most common level of activity. Practitioners do what is considered normal or acceptable. Enough effort to survive, but never enough to dominate. Cardone calls this the most dangerous degree, as it generates the illusion of activity without producing overwhelming results, and guarantees the practitioner will remain locked in fierce competition. 4. Massive action, the 10x level. This is the only level Cardone endorses, as it operates entirely outside the competitive field. It requires an almost unreasonable level of commitment and activity designed to saturate the market and ensure maximum visibility. This force of action guarantees that even if the 10x target is not fully met, the sheer volume of effort will project the individual far beyond the reach of those operating at average levels. Cardone firmly states that average action is the root of most failures because it consumes energy without providing the necessary force to break through resistance. To successfully implement the 10x rule, one must critically audit their current behavior and commit to operating exclusively within the fourth degree. The highest form of accountability is the deliberate choice to take actions so enormous that they create new, high-level problems instead of endlessly struggling with old, low-level problems. We have concluded our detailed exploration of the 10x rule. Now, let's briefly review the overarching lessons from this transformative book. Grant Cardone's The 10x Rule is a revolutionary and actionable framework that wholly rejects the conventional wisdom regarding goal setting and action planning. His principle of setting goals 10 times larger and taking action 10 times more significant than initially conceived is not merely a corporate strategy. It is a life philosophy applicable to every aspect of personal and professional existence. The 10x rule is an absolute call to action. It inspires us to think bigger, act with more audacity, and endure for longer periods. It is a mindset that refuses to tolerate mediocrity or complacency, forcefully urging us to exit our comfort zones and strive for nothing less than extraordinary results. This rule is designed not to guarantee success, but to drastically increase the probability of it. Even when we fall short of our lofty targets, the massive action undertaken will place us leagues ahead of where we would have landed with typical moderate effort. Cardone's book serves as a blunt wake-up call to those content with simply getting by. It challenges us to fundamentally rethink our approach to both life's challenges and its opportunities. The 10x rule empowers us not just to survive, but to profoundly thrive. It demands that we seize complete control of our circumstances, rather than passively allowing our circumstances to control us. Through powerful narratives and compelling arguments, Cardone demonstrates the transformative power of the 10x rule. From health and relationships to personal development, professional domination, and the mandatory nature of measured accountability, the 10x rule enables us to achieve the exceptional. This methodology is not for the timid. It requires unwavering commitment, profound persistence, and the willingness to embrace risk. It demands that we reject the status quo and push for more. But for those ready to fully embrace this philosophy, the resulting rewards are truly life-altering. It is a concrete map to monumental success. It is a challenge to dream bigger, act bolder, and achieve exponentially more. It is an operational guide that can revolutionize not only our careers, but our personal lives as well. Whether you are an entrepreneur, a student, a homemaker, or a seasoned professional, the 10x rule possesses the power to fundamentally change your life. Therefore, embrace the 10x rule today and prepare to realize truly extraordinary results. That concludes our in-depth summary for today. Was there a specific application of the 10x rule you'd like to explore next? Perhaps its use in setting financial targets or dominating a specific industry?